Hello, I'm Chris Vavra. I'm the Web Content Manager for CFE Media and Technology. I'm happy to join you here today with Pramesh Maheshwari, the President and CEO of Honeywell Process Solutions. We're going to talk today about digitalization, digital transformation, and what has been happening over the last year, particularly with the rise of artificial intelligence, changing a lot of paradigms and a lot of norms that we had sort of taken for granted, and what they mean now for manufacturing, particularly in the process manufacturing industry. So thank you, Pramesh, for joining me today.
You're welcome, Chris. Really looking forward to this discussion.
Yeah, likewise. And I guess we'll start off with, in the last year, we've seen the rise of ChatGPT and how that's changed manufacturing as a whole. And I was wondering how this rise of artificial intelligence and ChatGPT and generative AI as well. How is this changing how digitalization is being implemented in manufacturing?
See, whether it is ChatGPT or even without that, there is a change that is happening. What I am seeing when I travel and meet customers across the industry, across multiple verticals, one thing I'm seeing, there is much more acceptance on digitalization across the industry. There is acceptance on more remote connection. There is acceptance on, and when there is an acceptance on remote connection, those connections have also become much more secure. They have become much more effective. There is an acceptance on more data sharing, clarity on what is being shared. There was a lot of rigidity on, no, I cannot give this. And that is also coming with the awareness on what is going out in data. How can we keep my private information with me, whereas I can provide information which can be shared. So that is happening. More solutions are coming, more use cases are coming. People are seeing more use cases. There was a time when people used to say, no, I'm good with only this solution and I'll only work with this. But now customers are seeing more use cases. Rather, customers are calling us and wants to know about more use cases. Customers are coming and talking to us about, can I get more out of my reservoir using AI? Can I get my plant worker more secure using AI? Can I give more tools in the hands of my operator to run the plant safely, more optimized using AI or digitization, whatever you call, not only AI? Can my field worker be more effective, and I can have more OEE, more availability of equipment, less downtime using digitization and AI. So more use cases are coming. I'm constantly seeing that thing happening, Chris.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you mentioned the use cases, and that's so important because as acceptance grows and people start to realize the benefits, they need something to sort of latch on to make it less abstract, particularly in their environment, it sounds like.
You're right. You're right. If you're not talking the customer language, then you're just living in your own world. You need to talk on what you're solving. You need to know what problem you're solving, what solutions you're providing to the industry. That is critical. That is important.
Yeah. And on a sort of an individual as well as a company level, with digitalization, becoming more accepted, how are workers adapting and what skill sets are becoming crucial now in this digitally driven manufacturing environment?
So I'll say it depends upon how you are taking your workers together. I have seen places and customers where there are anxiety. I've seen places where there is excitement. Both are happening. Wherever workers are not taken together, they are anxious. Where they are taken together, where they are informed about what outcomes are we getting, they are excited. Where all the solutions are only used for productivity on cutting the workforce, there is anxiety. Where it is used for augmenting the workforce, we're opening new frontiers, opening new possibilities, doing those things which were not possible earlier, supporting the workers, making them more safe, secure, more agile, they are getting excited. When you sit with worker and you talk to them that when you operated rounds yesterday and you did it this way on a manual way. And how about if you bring all these solutions in it, and your job will become much more productive, it will become much more better. They are getting excited. So it's upon how you're taking things with them. And that's where, when we are implementing our solution, we don't limit ourselves on just providing you the technology. We also work into the complete change management and technology implementation also. We just don't provide the technology as, okay, you take it and you implement it yourself. We go through the proper processes so that customers are successful.
Yeah, context, yeah, is so important for a lot of these implementations. AI is the same way. There was a lot of fear in the early months with the rise of ChatGPT and how it could change things. But to your point, you're exactly right. It's about augmenting the worker and, allowing them to realize their own potential in a lot of ways, and that's so important. In not just that, but in what you were describing as well. At Hug and Honeywell Connect this year, digitalization, digital transformation were certainly major themes, but so was the theme of sustainability. And how can digitalization help sustainability initiatives? And in turn, how can sustainability help digitalization?
These are very intertwined topics. They are connected. They cannot live without each other. And the basic pretext is, you cannot control what you cannot measure. And you cannot effectively control what you cannot analyze. So measuring and analyzing are so critical to control and to effectively control. And in sustainability, biggest thing is controlling the emissions, knowing what are your reasons for unsustainable solutions, creating more solutions on the green side, and doing those things which can effectively give you the result. So when we need to measure, we need to monitor, we need to reduce, we need to report, all those things are happening with digitalization. Take examples. When you are creating factories, if you are creating a process that is very optimized, you are knowing that part of the process, that if you optimize that, that is creating less waste, that is using the least amount of energy, that is using the least amount of greenhouse gases, then you'll be controlling that part. But to know that, you need digitalization. So without digitalization, I don't think there is any sustainability journey. It'll be like firing in the dark, and you'll be just doing things without even knowing what are the results and what you're doing.
Yeah, it's like you can't go in blind. You really need a baseline. You really need to know what what is around you, and trying to make sense of all that data. And has that been a common hurdle for companies that are trying to get into sustainability, trying to become more digital and more digitalized, I suppose. And has that been a big hurdle for them?
I'll say a hurdle more on, not exactly as a technology, but hurdle more on where they are and how much knowledge they have, what exactly they are doing. I'll say, because they are not able to measure and they do not know the outcomes of their action, that if I take action A, this will be my outcome. If I take action B, this is my outcome. If I take action C, this is my outcome. Till that time, customers do not see that these actions will give me these outcomes. There will be, I will say, a challenge of adoption, a challenge on convincing solutions going into that field. So important thing will be using digitalization to know the outcomes of my action, and that will give that confidence to customers to go in that direction.
Right. And once you have that confidence, then you can take those next steps and kind of go beyond, that, and you can take better, more informative steps, particularly with AI and machine learning being there, is to help, find those next steps in some cases, because, you can take all this information and make even better and more informed decisions as a result.
You're right. You're right, Chris.
one of the biggest challenges in the last couple of years, particularly in the wake of COVID-19, is the supply chain issues we've been seeing. And while it's not as bad as it was, say, late 2021, mid 2022, it still remains a challenge. And how can digitalization enhance the resilience of these manufacturing supply chains, and in what ways can they help companies overcome some of the short and long-term challenges they're facing?
Digitalization gives you analytics. Digitalization gives you the shortest path on the route to market. Digitalization gives you the optimum stocking level for parts. Digitalization gives you that about that single part that could have created the problem on your finished goods. So one of the problem in the industry is not only the lead time on supply, which we can use digitalization for the optimum route management, but also when we do manufacturing, sometimes because we have done optimization on the inventory side, how that optimization is affecting your finished good. Now with digitalization, you can do that exact analytics of parts, that how much parts I will be required for doing the right mix of my solution. So all these solutions are helping solving the supply chain issues. We have tried that and we have got some huge success. There were times in the past where some of our goods are just lying there needing for a specific part, and we have come out of that. Now we exactly know that what parts are required to finish all our goods. We also need that what will be the market requirement, what my customers will need. So that whole predictive analytics on market needs, customer needs, in what months, at what times my customers will be requiring what type of parts. That knowledge also is helping me planning better. So manufacturing, supplying, planning properly, keeping it at the stocking level, all those things, digitization is helping me solving those. I think digitization is helping supply chain in a big way. There are many use cases there, Chris.
Yeah. Yeah, and you talk about prescriptive analytics, predictive analytics, however you want to describe it. Yeah, being able to take all those numbers and all that data and give it to the worker in real time is so critical. And we're seeing the rise of cloud and edge computing to help sort of augment some of those capabilities, through digitalization and digital transformation, to give the workers the information they need, particularly if they're well away from the center of the action and they don't have the immediate knowledge that they might have otherwise.
Yep.
So with digitalization, digital transformation, another major theme, particularly at Honeywell Connect in Dallas a couple of months ago, was cybersecurity. And with the increased reliance on digital systems, what measures are being taken to ensure that data security and being able to protect sensitive information within manufacturing plants is happening?
Cybersecurity has always been the topmost priority, whether that is, and it's increasing continuously, whether it is with digitalization or whichever form you say. Customers have always trusted Honeywell as a major cybersecurity vendor. We provide cybersecurity solutions to customers. Along with that, we also implement the control system solutions to the most critical infrastructure globally. And in those places, we also implement cybersecurity in those places. So there is a continuous trust on Honeywell from customers on cybersecurity. Now, this digitalization, what this has done is, on one side, this has asked us to be more vigilant, but on the other side, we are also working very closely with customers to make them aware on cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is about technology, is about processes, and is about people, that how people behave. So we need to work on the full aspect, technology, process, and people. And one side, technology, okay, we always had some great technologies and we keep investing in that, but we are working very closely with customers on processes. When they are connected, when they are sharing the data, what should be that process? What critical process adherence we should follow? And then on the people behavior side, that people, when they are logging in, when they are remotely working, and when they are doing work on digital twins, when they are creating scenarios, when they are downloading things remotely, when they are doing all those solutions, what should be people behavior. So this whole aspect of people, process, and technology, that becomes very, very critical during this time of increased digitalization, and that's our focus.
Yeah, it's certainly something I've been hearing, and the way you described it is interesting, is it makes me think of kind of like it's a circular system. You develop the processes to help the people become, better educated and to change their workforce culture, and in turn, the processes get better and better. But it's a constant cycle. You really have to, keep at it and be consistent, because it's easy to slip, and that's when bad things can happen in a facility. So I imagine that's a major priority for you when you're working on, these projects with these different companies.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, it's the time for the crystal ball part of this Q&A. With digitalization happening, growing so rapidly, what do you think could be a possible trend or market shift that could happen, say, the next year, that would change how digitalization is being used in manufacturing? Or are you already kind of seeing a possible trend happening?
There are many things those are happening already in the industry. I would say 6 to 12 months is not a long period in the industry. This just comes like that. It just happens. So I would say what I'm seeing today, that will get more and more exponentially in that place. So we are seeing, and we will be keep on seeing, the merger of IT and OT layer. There will be less and less demarcation on IT and OT. More and more IT solutions will be moving to OT. More and more OT practices will be coming towards IT. So both the things will happen. Both the domains will need to understand each other and work with each other, and maybe getting blurred slowly. So that is one phenomenon which I'm seeing continuously. Second piece, what I've started seeing is a little bit of market disruptions. You can call it disruption Purdue model. You can call disruptions on hierarchical model, on how the data used to flow, or how the hierarchies are there. Like the devices, you are getting more and more intelligence on the edge devices. So edge devices are able to do more tasks, which was more on level 1, 2, and 3. So edge devices are able to do those things. Edge devices earlier were not able to talk to directly level 3 and 4, but now edge devices are talking directly to level 3 and 4. With the control room structure changing, with more and more ROCs coming, remote operation centers coming, that whole L3 layer may be becoming more powerful. L2 layer is becoming, I'll not use the word redundant, but is changing its dimension. So there are changes happening in that whole hierarchical model, what was there earlier. And then the whole roles of people, what an operator used to do, what an executive used to do. Executives are now more tuned into day-to-day information. One, because they are getting information at the real time, which was not there earlier. Second, they are also able to see the effect of their decision making, because once they decide, then those decisions are flowing down pretty quickly and actions are being taken. So executives are getting more and more engaged on their plant operations. Operators are taking bigger decisions. There was a time when operators just used to sit and start just run the plant. Okay, I have to just keep the plant safe and run it at optimum level. And then shift supervisor and plant managers used to come and decide for the mix change for the product, that what mix we need to give. But that at the operator dashboard, we have the market requirement, that what the market needs, whether the market is needing this grade of the fuel or market is needing this solution. So operators are able to take those decisions. So on one side, executives have got more knowledge about the plan. On the other side, operators are taking more bigger decision, what they were not taking it earlier. So we are seeing multiple changes. We are seeing mixing up of the ITOT, the Purdue models and layers. The roles are getting shifted a little bit. I think this is one of the most exciting time ever in the history of manufacturing, how things have been happening. We are redefining a lot of things, and we are redefining them for the better future.
Yeah. everything is becoming one level rather than, you mentioned the Purdue model, instead of like 5 levels, we're down to one almost. Or if we're not quite there, everybody knows what everybody else is doing. And within that, there is a greater freedom of action and a greater freedom of, decision making, and there's more transparency as a result. So everybody knows everything else that's happening within the facility, or they should know.
Yeah, and it will also create some societal changes because everything what changes in technology and industry has an impact on society. I think
Mhm.
that will reduce even layers in the society. That will bring more parity in the society because everyone is knowledgeable. Knowledge was one of the things that kept people away. And in many, many places, many societies, when people are kept away, then there is some dissatisfaction, those things. But now this whole digitalization, this whole information, all these things will bring knowledge to people. Knowledge
Yeah.
is a skill is empowerment, empowerment is authorization, and that's all will make people more effective and maybe more happy.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of that tracks with something I've heard a couple of times, where if oil was the great commodity of the 20th century, information is the great commodity of the 21st.
You're
So,
right. You're right.
so well, well, thank you very much, Pramesh, for joining me today, and some really good insights on where we're heading in manufacturing. It is going to be, I think, a very exciting time. And, as you say, 6 to 12 months is not a long time. We've seen some seismic changes already in the last year, so it'll be very exciting to see what happens in the next 12.
You're right, Chris. And great connecting with you. It's always exciting talking to you. And let's meet again. Maybe hug, come over, and we'll talk again.
All right. Well, I hope so too. But thank you very much. And if you want to see additional videos I've done with other Honeywell thought leaders, you can go to our YouTube channel, Control Eng TV. And we also have write-ups on these video interviews, as well as other videos on our website, www.controleng.com. And I'm Chris Vavra, the Web Content Manager for CFE Media and Technology. And thank you for joining me today.